Hey guys, it's Luna here, welcome to this Battlefield 1 video. In this video, I'm going to be quickly explaining this that you can see here, which is your weapon stats, and more specifically, the line graph you can see at the bottom, which explains bullet and damage drop-off. So I'm just going to choose this random weapon first off to explain what everything is, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail. The Automatico M1918 factor issue is a submachine gun inspired by an aircraft-mounted gun. The first submachine gun used by the Italian military, so it gives you a little bit of information about the gun and its history. Okay, so we can look here at the top. It tells you your gun's damage, accuracy, hipfire, and control. For this weapon, all of them are not too high, but it's the rate of fire 900 that makes this gun incredibly powerful. With 900 rounds per minute, you can deal loads of damage really quickly at close range. And the gun holds 25 rounds at a time. Now, in order to get the most out of this gun, you're going to have to better understand damage and bullet drop-off. And in order to do that, you have to pay attention to the graph which explains that at the bottom. The damage drop-off is the solid yellow line, and bullet drop-off is the dotted yellow line. Underneath the graph is a scale, and you can see here it ranges from 0 to 100 meters, and the line on the graph simply shows at what ranges the bullet and the damage can go. So for this weapon, the damage is full until around 50 meters, and then you can see it starts to drop off, meaning it goes down the way, which means your damage will be less when it hits the enemies. When you reach around 25 meters, the damage levels off, and the damage dealt to enemies will be roughly about the same from then onwards. So any distance above that 25 meters will pretty much do the same damage no matter how far away your enemy is. Of course, weapons have a certain range that they can hit. You can't exactly shoot an enemy that's like 300 meters away with this gun, and that's where bullet drop-off comes in. It tells you kind of the optimum range for your weapon. And that's determined by the velocity of your gun. Obviously, at some point, the gravity and wind resistance will force the bullet to arc towards the ground. That's just kind of like how bullets work, really, isn't it? So for the M1918, the bullet will fly essentially in a straight line for around 50 meters. You can see here, it tells you on the graph. It slightly arcs upwards for 50 meters, but basically it will fly pretty much in a straight line. So if you have an enemy who's within 50 meters, you can aim your target just straight at them pretty much. And then when it reaches 50 meters, it will start to arc towards the ground until it hits the ground. And so when firing this weapon, you want to look at kind of the optimum range, which is around 25 meters, and you want to shoot enemies who are within that range. If the enemies are not within that range, then you're not getting the best out of your weapon, and you should probably change weapon. So why exactly do we need to know all of this information? Well, it's extremely important in choosing the correct weapon for the right situation. This weapon we're looking at, the M1918, is ideal at ranges of up to around 25 meters, so it's a short range weapon. You could maybe get lucky at a bit higher range than that, say the 25 to 50 meters. But anything above that, this isn't really the best gun to be using. So it pretty much tells you exactly what gun to use for different situations. And what the graph is extremely important for is when using a sniper rifle, so if you're playing a scout. Because at close range you can kind of roughly work out the distance an enemy is if they're only say 25 meters away, but if you're sniping up to 300 meters, then you have to make sure you have the correct rifle selected and understand the fall off of your gun, and more importantly the damage fall off of your weapon. Sniper rifles are slightly different from the other guns in the fact that they have an optimal range or a critical hit range. You can see here from the graph the damage starts off level, then between 50 and 150 meters the damage increases before dropping off again. So understanding the damage drop-off and the bullet drop-off is extremely important for two things, especially when using the sniper rifle: figuring out the optimum range so that you can do critical hit damage, and also checking out the bullet drop-off rate on where exactly to shoot, because your bullet is going to arc towards the ground pretty steeply around the 150 meter mark, and so if you're shooting any further than that, you will have to aim your gun up the way so that the arc of the bullet hits your target. And obviously you're not going to do any critical hit damage after around 130 meters, so you can kind of use those two things to figure out exactly where to shoot and how much damage you're going to be doing, and exactly where the optimum range to shoot people from with this gun. If you need to shoot people who are further away, then choose a gun that has a damage drop-off of further away. So this gun is ideal for shooting people who are within the 25 to say 140 meter range. And anything above 150, you're going to struggle to hit them because the bullet drop-off is so steep, meaning you're going to have to shoot up the way pretty steeply, and the damage isn't going to be critical hit. So understanding the correct range for your weapon using these graphs can make the difference between hitting your target and one-shot killing your target. Or it could be used for other things. If you know the optimum range of your sniper rifle, if the enemy's too close to you, you can switch to your pistol. So there's loads of different things that you can use this information for. So I hope you now better understand how everything works. This was in no way an in-depth guide on weapon choice or anything like that, but hopefully you can now start to begin to understand the game a bit better and making the correct weapon choices for the right situation, as it can really help you in game. As always guys, if you find this guide helpful, don't forget to leave a like and comment. If you enjoyed this video or are looking for similar videos for Battlefield or other games, check out my channel, I'm sure you will enjoy it. And I will catch you guys next time.